Welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio from Tejas Financial Group. Tejas Financial is a company that specializes in helping retirees and pre-retirees build purposeful retirement plans. Custom plans that not only help clients steward their treasure, but their time and talent as well. They believe that if you're taken care of financially, you go even further to make the family, community, and kingdom impact you truly desire to make, which is the ultimate purpose of wealth. If you'd like to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with one of their financial advisors, give them a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting at tejasfinancial.com or simply stop by their office on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer.
Well, welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. Once again, today I'm joined by a co-host, and I've got Matt Hoekstra with me. Matt, how are you today?
Good, very good.
Good, excited to be on the radio and video now, which makes it extra special. You were sharing with me before we got online, this is not your best side, the side view?
Well, I've been told, by people in the office here that I have a face for radio. So when they said that we were going to start recording these and putting them on the internet to see, it was, kind of disheartening for me because I thought
that's not good.
I can have a nice baritone voice for the radio, but then when you see when you see me, then
you see the face behind it.
It's a little disappointing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think you've got a good voice for the radio, and I'm having a lot of fun interviewing our advisors. And you talked last week some about kind of the money mindset stuff, and I think how you got into this business is pretty unique. What skills you bring to our business are very unique in having a background with some counseling, really, and I think that ties in so well with so many things that clients go through. It seems that every major life event is somehow tied to money. And you've had lots of those conversations over the years, as have I. And something that usually gets those conversations going is one of my favorite all-time questions. And that question is, tell me about what money was like for you as a kid. When you were growing up, did you have money? How was it? How did that go for you? And I've gotten varying answers for that. I had one guy tell me, this was pretty funny. He said, when I was a kid, if I reached in my pocket and there was two coins in there, I would know I'm wearing somebody else's clothing. Like he was that dirt poor.
Yeah.
And I've had other clients that were raised with some degree of wealth. And you asked a client recently that similar question to that. And you kind of learned a lot about why really some of their money decisions have been difficult for them. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so, we had met, and one of them was a saver and one of them was a spender. And we've had a relationship for a number of years now. And as we were kind of finishing up our meeting and having some small talk, the husband was talking to me, and he said, my wife just grew up very poor. And I didn't grow up wealthy, but I didn't grow up poor. And he said, easy. For her, it's very difficult. And it figured out how to marry those two ideas together in a healthy way so that they still have some money, but they also have had some experiences over the years. And I think for me, my eyes were kind of open to that. One of my first years in the business, I had clients that were worth, millions, multiple millions, probably close to 10 to 15. And they were living only on their Social Security.
Wow.
And I just didn't understand it, and I think it's harder for your generation and my generation to understand that way of thinking. But as we got to know each other, and I found out that they went through their parents went through the Great Depression. They didn't always know where their next meal was going to come from. They went without meals. And I think that's just something that our generation I don't want to speak too flippantly, but for the most part, our generation just hasn't had to go through stuff like that. So those painful experiences can cause just problems with how we view money. And so I think one of the things that is helpful is really straightening that out so that if we're too far on the poverty mindset of I grew up poor and now I have wealth, right? And I never want to go back there. Or if it's like I grew up and I had money available to me all the time, and I don't know how to save or manage that, we have to find a middle ground to both of those and help clients just have a healthier relationship with money.
Yeah, I mean, going back to times when you've counseled, even before working here, I'm guessing financial matters came up a lot, right,
Yeah.
with the spouses. So we know that money is the leading cause of divorce, right, and money disagreements. So what you've been able to see is probably quite a bit deeper than that, right? It's how people look at spending deeper, how they look at investing, and even giving, right? I had a client recently that we were talking to their charitable giving plan, and they were both on widely different sides of the coin. For giving for her meant giving to their family members, extended cousins and family. And this was a very large, wealthy family. For him, it was all about giving charitably to kingdom causes, right? And we do have to, in our work, have to kind of come together to help, I guess, bridge the gap between couples. Because I think what I found too, Matt, is like your saver was probably not 100% right, probably had some clouded vision, and the spender the same way. Something that I've told my clients a lot, I know I've heard others in this office talk about it, is this idea of tax deferral, right? We save money typically in 401k plans, and many times people save, and they kind of almost oversave. Tell me about that time, if you've seen people where they've actually oversaved, where they've deferred a lot of tax, right, for the future in a tax deferred account, but then they've also been really doing some life deferral at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I just got out of a meeting, and the clients were younger, and they were struggling because one of their friends just passed away at a young age, and we need to figure out. I don't want people to live like we're going to die tomorrow, right? I mean, we do have to still have that prudence to say, okay, we've got to save, we've got to do the right things. We can't just live on a zero-based budget and blow everything that we have. But we also have to find a balance between, living in a cardboard box now to hopefully get to retirement someday, and living life in a way now that is also impactful.
Yeah, and I love that answer. And I think that's part of our job. I think what does allow people to live today and save for tomorrow and kind of have that balance is a plan. We do a lot of e-money planning and with our clients where they can see directly in their financial plan, am I saving too much? Am I not living today and enjoying the provision that God's given me? So, we'll talk about more of that on upcoming shows. But again, it's always fun to hear the mindset side of things from you working with your clients, Matt. Thanks for joining us again today, and we'll talk to you next week.
Do you need ways to help steward your time, your talent, and your treasure? If so, Tejas Financial Group can help. Now is the time to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting. You can do this one of three ways. Number one, give them a call right now at 222-4236. You can request a meeting online at tejasfinancial.com, or you can just stop by their office located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. I'm Jared Sebesta. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. We'll see you next time.
Securities offered through Avantax Investment Services. Member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Avantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through an Avantax affiliated insurance agency.